Spot Devices by Global Star uses second-generation satellite technology that allows customers to track themselves and their assets, send messages, and contact search and rescue. Spot Trace is the theft alarm tracker that monitors the movement and location. Spot Gen 3 lets off-the-grid adventurers send messages, track movement, and call for help. Spot by Global Star, satellite technology. Support for WYES is made possible by Mary Lou Kristovich in memory of her husband, William Kristovich.
I'm Peggy Scott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, spotlighting the New Orleans area's arts and entertainment scene. Seated at our table tonight, Fred LeBlanc, lead singer and drummer for Cowboy Mouth.
This
Yay!
guy.
Here to discuss the mild-mannered. Here to discuss his debut children's book, Fred, the New Orleans Drummer Boy. Welcome, Fred.
Nice
Good to see you.
Nice to see you too. How are you doing today?
Just fine, thanks. Poppy Tooker, host of the WWNO radio program, Louisiana Eats. Hey, Miss Poppy.
Hey, Peg.
Hi. Steppin Out theater critic, Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News. Hey, Alan. And for the first time tonight, guitarist, singer, and band leader, Billy Asprodites, and he is here to perform a little later with his Lagniappe Band. Welcome, Billy. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. It's
yes,
great to be
indeed.
here.
But first up, Susan Spicer. Big news, huh?
Love that Susan Spicer.
Yeah.
And now Susan's got restaurant number 3. It's called Rosedale. And I would like to explain to everybody where it is, because it is in the most obscure spot. It's within walking distance from where I live, but I couldn't figure it out. So you're on City Park Avenue, and there's those railroad tracks right by Bud's Broiler. Well, depending on which way you're coming from, the street from City Park, go over the railroad tracks, first turn right there, or you can go on... there's a Rosedale entrance, another one too, but it's right back behind the railroad tracks. It is very obscure, but it is well worth finding.
I would also, from Canal Boulevard, go right past the dollar store.
Yeah, Rosedale, that's what I was thinking,
Yeah.
Canal Boulevard. Rosedale has...
Rosedale's right there.
So the food is fabulous. As a matter of fact, I ate there last on Sunday, and at an adjoining table, there was Allison Bynes rushing and Slade rushing.
Oh, wow.
And their 2 children were playing on the railroad tracks, which was pretty exciting.
Okay.
Now, the food, it's the same menu, lunch and dinner. It's very diverse. Crab claws, yum. There's a great eggplant campanata. There's build-your-own grits bowl with additions like barbecued shrimp, pulled pork, greens, mushrooms, broccoli, fried eggs, lamb meatballs. Oh my goodness, they blew my mind. So this is Susan's new project, and she's doing it with Brett, known as Shaggy Duffee. He's the longtime chef de cuisine at Bayona. This is the first time in the 10 years I've been doing this that I have ever said, and now we're going to talk about the bathroom. Now, here is Chef Brett. There is a unisex bathroom that was the original holding cell, because this was where they put the bad kids. It's like the juvenile detention center. And so there's like the balls are all pounded. See, there's their bars are still in the windows, the bars are still on the doors. It's worth going. The food's delicious, but you got to go just for the bathroom.
It was a mini police station for a while too.
Exactly.
In the 70s.
There's Susan showing me into the bathroom. I mean, we've never done this on TV together before. Anyhow, so go to Rosedale. It is the hot, happening place and delicious. Then, beer lovers, sit up straight. The Brooklyn Mash is coming back to New Orleans. This is such a fun event that's done all over the place by Brooklyn Brewery. And it's all taking place next weekend. It's gonna kick off on Friday when Timberland presents The Lone Bellow, which is big band, great act, free at the Joy Theater. of course, with beer. Then on Saturday, they move on to Beer Mansion. And Beer Mansion goes on from 5 until 9 at the Grand Oaks Mansion, which is, of course, part of Mardi Gras World, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's only $20. And what you get to experience are Brooklyn and New Orleans breweries with a different experience in each room, like the barrel aging room, the IPA room, the Saison room, and there's even the Cholula hot sauce tasting room. And then Sunday, all of Ferret Street is going to come alive for their Ferret Street neighborhood immersion from 1 until 6. Again, the tickets are only $20, and it's an urban exploration with quality craft beers. Lunch and specials at Bar Francis, Midway Pizza, Ancora Pizza, The Other Bar, and Crescent Comics. It's an all-beer weekend all the time. You'll catch me at all, because I love Andrew Gerson and my buddies. I can't wait to see him this week. It's going to be great. Brooklyn Brewery.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Poppy. And now, before we go to Alan's review of Rivertown Theater's 1776, here's a song from the production of Leah, Virginia, featuring Ken Good as Richard Henry Lee, Gary Rucker as Adams, and David Hoover as Franklin.
Gentlemen, a salute to Virginia, the mother of American independence.
Incredible. We're free and he hasn't even left yet. What makes you so sure you can do it?
Ha! My name is Richard Henry Lee, Virginia is my home. My name is Richard Henry Lee, Virginia is my home. And may my horses turn to glue if I can't deliver unto you a resolution on Independence Day. For I am FFB, the first family in the sovereign colony of Virginia. Yes, the FFB, the oldest family in the oldest colony in America. And may the British burn my land if I can't deliver to your hand a resolution on Independence Day. You see, it's eerily.
You gotta go see it. The Lees of Virginia. Alan, your thoughts?
Well, that's Ken Good as Richard Henry Lee, along with David Hoover as Benjamin Franklin, and Gary Rucker as John Adams. You know, 1776, one of my favorites. The key role of Adams is someone who is obnoxious and disliked, and a real rabble-rouser. And since I wasn't available, Gary Rucker took on the role, and he does play it with absolute brilliance. It's one of the best local productions of 1776 I've ever seen, from top to bottom, although a live orchestra would have ratcheted up a little bit more. But anyway, you don't really notice it. The music is great. As John Hancock, Louis Dudosset, as Thomas Jefferson, Matt Reed, all do a great job. Jimmy Murphy carries off the role of John Dickinson, while Terry Otterback as Samuel Chase and Joe Siebert as Judge Wilson is also really, really well done. Kudos to both ladies in this cast, by the way. Jessica Gordon, seen here as Martha Jefferson, and Nora Pritchard as Abigail Adams. They have very small roles in this practically all-male cast. One of the most gripping scenes is that fantastic molasses to rum that's done in this particular 11th hour dramatic song by Scott Clausen, a fantastic rendition and really wonderfully done. Executed well by A.J. Allegra as the director, a superb choreography by Lindsay Romig, and this particular Sherman Edwards and Peter Stone classic is something to be seen, and again, especially after we've all come off a week of political events, I think it's especially important to see. 1776 runs through November the 20th at the Rivertown Theaters for the Performing Arts. Meanwhile, across town at Loyola University's Lower Depths Theater, Southern Rep is presenting the regional premiere of Grounded by George Brandt. This is the story of a woman fighter pilot who is at one in the sky, if you will, communing in the blue, as she calls it. She meets a boyfriend and soon becomes acquainted with another color, and that is pink. That means that she's pregnant, basically, which leads to her becoming grounded. And that's, again, where she becomes a member of what she calls the chair force of drone operators. She says, I get to fly again, sort of. Well, Carrie Cahill is terrific as the pilot, and she takes us on a ride for about an hour and 20 minutes through the sky, onto the ground, and then she has to deal again with that child that comes along in a relationship. For 80 minutes, we're taking a little ride through the blue and then onto the gray. The situation and language is very adult. It's very riveting, though. It's a piece that I really recommend very highly. Carrie Cahill is top-notch in this particular role, and again, I'd recommend it. Lower Depth Theater at Loyola.
All right, and we'll be back to you a little
I have
later,
more.
sir.
I have
He
more.
has much more. It's amazing. But first to Fred. Fred, Cowboy Mouth, earlier Dash Rip Rock. You've been at it a long time.
Yes, I have.
And yes, you have.
Yes, I have.
And you are traveling all over the country
Yep.
and performing. But you also are doing a children's book. And tell us how all that came about.
My aunt, who lives in Baton Rouge, she's one of those Southern ladies who doesn't pronounce her R's. And one day she said, "Fred, I do believe that you need to put out a children's book and call it Fred, the New Orleans Drummer Boy." And I said, "That's a good idea, Aunt Dottie." So I got in touch with Scott, the publisher for River Road Press, and we pretty much had it done very quickly.
And your illustrator, we should definitely mention too, shouldn't we?
Marita Gentry. She's out of Gonzales. She was wonderful.
And so how
Did a
does
great
that
job.
work? You all collaborate, you put together what you want to say, and
Scott
say
was
this
pretty
is what
much
I
the
kinda sort
nucleus
of
of the
like
whole.
to do that.
Scott was pretty much the nucleus of the whole thing. We worked on the story first. I draw, and I'd suggested kind of doing it, but he said, "No, we've got professional illustrators," and it actually worked out really great. So, and the story's it's meant to be like a Cowboy Mouth show in that there's the whole idea of playing, but there's that subtle kind of inspirational.
Now you
quality
have
to
little
it.
ones.
That's what
Have
I
you
was-
showed? I know they're little.
Yes, I
little,
do.
But
In
you've
fact,
showed them yet?
there's 2 characters in the book. There's 3 band members besides me: JT, who's based on John Thomas in my band, and Evie, who's my daughter, and Little B, who's my son Bash.
Oh, very, very good.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things that I learned that I did not know about you, sir, though, is you were born practically deaf.
Huh?
Really?
Yeah, I was actually. I was born deaf. My tonsils and adenoids were overgrown when I was born, and my lungs were underdeveloped, so they could not operate until my lungs got strong when I was about 3 years old. So my folks used to lean my head on stereo speakers and crank music, and so I could actually sing before I could talk. At least that's what my brothers and sisters
Oh,
told
my
me.
goodness. And your show is always very lively. I mean, Cowboy Mouth, we're not talking about low-key here, right?
No, exactly. It's not a dress rehearsal. You swing for the fences, baby.
Well, and a lot of the songs, of course, are original too, like
Yeah,
Jenny Says,
Jenny Says,
and you're singing and you're playing at the same time.
I
Not
just,
everybody can do that.
the drummer and the lead singer, I just did not want to spend my life staring at some guitar player's rear end. Don't take it personally.
Okay.
And it's been good. I've done it for 25 years. I've been very fortunate. We've had our ups and downs, but things are
How did
going
the
really
name
well.
Cowboy Mouth come to pass?
It was the only name we could all agree on. That was all there is to it. It has no significance whatsoever, except one day I kind of lucked out and hit on this phrase where I was just hitting the bass drum. I go, "The name of the band is Cowboy Mouth. The name of the band is," and I get the audience to say it back. And now, like, I was in Minneapolis a couple of months ago, and in the airport, and I heard some guy, "The name of the band is." It's like, okay, all right.
Well, just in case some folks haven't been fortunate enough to see you in performance, we have just a little tiny clip thanks
Nice.
to CMAT Level Productions, and it's Jenny Says.
Nice. Let's see. Let's check it out.
Jenny says, turn off the radio. Jenny says, turn off the light. Jenny says, turn off the video. Throw your hands in the air and sing it. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
God, I'm funny
So
looking.
this is what you do in your day job, isn't it?
That's my night job. Yeah, and this is what I do. This is what I do. I
you're
hit
clearly
stuff. I
having
hit
fun.
stuff and scream. Yeah.
You're clearly having fun too.
that was a
Now,
long time
but you
ago.
do you just play the drums, or do you play some other instruments?
Well, I
or-
play like guitar and bass, and every once in a while I'll pull out a guitar.
Of course.
The Cowboy Mouth show, but my main instrument is drums, and like I said, I moved them up front when I formed the band 25 years ago because I just wanted to be up front where all the fun is.
That's right, and you're going to be playing, of course, Christmas, New Year's Eve
New Year's
here.
Eve at the Big Night New Orleans. Check it out, bignightneworleans.com.
Okay.
It's the Hyatt Superdome.
Yeah, and then Lundi Gras once again.
Lundi Gras,
at
we're doing
Riverwalk.
Lundi
We
Gras
just found
again.
that
That's
out.
gonna be fun
But
at
you've
the-
got some signings coming up, too.
Yes, I do. I got some signings at the Stage Name Desire for the New Orleans Book Fest on Saturday, November 12th, and I'll be doing the performance and signing there, and at the Bookstore 10 of the New Orleans Book Fest, and also I'm doing a signing at on the November 26th at Octavia Books from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and also doing one at Flirty Girl on Severn in Metairie from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday, November 26th. I'm
And
gonna
we
be
should
busy.
point out, for
Yes.
more information, there's a mighty good website.
cowboymouth.com, or you can check us out on our Facebook page too.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. We will. Once again, the mild-mannered, low-key Fred. Fred LeBlanc. And New Orleans Magazine's quiz Texas, Queen Julia Street, has a question for us. Last time, Tom Mayer, hello Tom Mayer, told us where Alabama's head coach Nick Saban was immediately before and after his time at LSU, Michigan State, and the Miami Dolphins. Now tonight's question. Under which president did former Mayor Moon Landrieu serve in a cabinet position? And what position did he serve? Email your answers to steppinout@wyes.org. Our prizes, a year's subscription to Louisiana Life magazine, and we have a $50 gift certificate to Kitchen Witch Cookbook Shop. By the way, author Diana Riley will be signing her new cookbook, Cooking with Purpose, at noon to 2 tomorrow there. Thanks to our friends at Pelican Publishing, we have a copy of the brand new The Fairgrounds Through the Lens, Photographs and Memories of Horse Racing in New Orleans, written by me, with photography by Louis Hodges Jr. By the way, Lou and I are having a signing and a brief talk tomorrow, also at the New Orleans Book Festival in City Park at 1:30. That's right. You can visit WYES.org for our online calendar to see our lineup of events, and you can also link to our WYES YouTube channel to visit our program. And now to Billy. Billy, you've been playing around New Orleans a long time, and I think also having a certain amount of fun too.
Why do it if you can't have fun?
Exactly, exactly. And you're performing for us tonight. You've got quite the band. Tell us about your band.
I'm blessed to be playing with the people I'm playing with right now. It's incredible. I have Nancy McSween, my songwriting partner. We co-wrote a song with George Porter Jr. on his Funk and Go Nuts CD, a song called High Above that still gets some airplay. And Nancy plays the baritone saxophone and sings and plays percussion. And I have Bruce Rayburn.
Wow. Dr. Bruce Rayburn?
Dr. Bruce Rayburn, who runs the Jazz Archive at Tulane University on drums. And Bruce and I have known each other probably going on 35 years. And we haven't played together in that long. We've been playing together over a year now. And it's just, I'm blessed to have Bruce on drums. He's right there. And Sherman Bernard on piano. Sherman runs his own production company and used to work for Fats Domino, played on some of his records, and was schooled by Alan Toussaint in the finer points of the New Orleans genre, especially Professor Longhair, and Tom Haroff, who was originally from Portland, Oregon, and spent 6 years in the Marine Corps band and decided to stay here. And he's a pleasure, one of the nicest people I've ever met, and plays incredible solos.
So you're playing an original composition tonight?
It's one of my tunes called Dancing Shoes.
Okay, and if folks want to hear more or hire you, what's your contact?
They can email me at the Lagniappe Band New Orleans @gmail.com, and my phone number is 504-481-2500.
Okay, and a little known fact is that you used to have a band way back when called William and the Conquerors?
Yes, ma'am. And Lenny Delbert was here tonight, and who was original member, played bass in William and the Conquerors, and you know him well, and he's worked here. And it's great to say. I haven't seen him in probably, I hate to admit how long it's been.
Okay. Well, we'll let you go get ready for that. And here's Billy Asprodites and the Lagniappe Band performing Billy's original composition, Dancing Shoes. Let's take a look.
Got your dancing shoes on, got your Hawaiian dress. When you shake your legs, yeah, yeah, mama, I start to sweat. I said you move me, you really move me, you're driving me out of my mind. I said you move me, you really move me, the way you look, the way you dance, the way you touch me, driving me mad. When we're walking downtown and I'm holding your hand, all the cats turn and look, Lord, it makes me feel so grand. I said you move me, you really move me, you're driving me out I said you move me, you really move me. The way you look, the way you dance, the way you touch me, driving me mad. So nice. All the girls in the club, Lord, gonna take your advice. I said you move me, you really move me. You're driving me out of my mind. I said you move me, you really move me. The way you look, the way you dance, the way you touch me, driving me mad. The way you look, the way you dance, the way you touch me, driving me mad.
We are moved. All right, now back to Alan.
Well, I want to talk about another regional premiere. This one is written by Mark St. Germain, and it's Freud's Last Session, directed by Maxwell Williams. It's set on the eve of World War II in an imagined meeting between Sigmund Freud, the eminent psychiatrist, the avowed atheist, and that, of course, played by Kenneth Teagar, and an English professor and soon-to-be novelist C.S. Lewis, of course, the more prominent proponent of Christianity, played by Michael Newcomer. These are both equity actors playing at Le Petit, with tensions very high in Great Britain. It's a perfect backdrop to that big question, the existence of God. Freud is dying, literally, of oral cancer, and he questions Lewis, you know, do you count on your tomorrows? I do not. Lewis attempts to convince Freud to find joy in his life and perhaps to find a belief in the Almighty. It's a remarkable tug of war between two giants, literally. It's amazing. I'll be the first to admit that the biggest problem in Christianity is Christians, Lewis confides to him. The two of them really, you know, go at it. Lewis brings up the Gospels as proof of the existence, and of course, the counterpart from Freud is you're convinced of Christ's existence of bad storytelling. So, you know, the question of this whole idea of the two wits, you know, battling is remarkable. It's superbly acted. I really recommend it highly. Freud's Last Session plays at Le Petit Theater at 616 St. Peter Street in the Quarter. Meanwhile, over at the Jefferson Performing Arts Center, I saw the breaking out of a new star, and that it would be Callie Alacy, who takes on the role of Fanny Bryce in Funny Girl. This is the first time the show is really being done here in a long time, and there's probably a good reason for that. You know, you have to have somebody who's a good actress, but also who can carry those notes. And she's an amazing singer. She actually had done, like Barbra Streisand on Broadway, one role previous in I Can Get You Wholesale. She had done one role previous in the second production that Butch Kerr, who directs this, also directed the JPS second production of A Light in the Piazza. She absolutely soars, as does her voice, and particularly, she closes both of the acts with Don't Rain on My Parade. There's tremendous choreography by Laurie Flanders, especially numbers like Rat-a-tat-tat and Cornet Man, and His Love Makes Me Beautiful, which is, of course, the big Ziegfeld number. Dennis Asaf does a spectacular job with the JPS Orchestra, and a shout out to Tracy Collins, Claire Conti, Helen Blank for all that they do, also as smaller roles in the production too. Also, playing the dashing Nick Arnstein is Robert Fascia, who does a great job in You Are a Woman, and Robert Magendie also plays Florence Ziegfeld. He does a very good job, but really, Callie Alacy is the one to see in Funny Girl. Don't miss it. And it plays for the end, of course, this weekend. No time for a review, but I did want to mention that next week I'm going to tell everybody about a production at Phillips Bar, of all places, starring Bunny Love. You may remember Bunny Love was in The Killing of a Lesbian Bookie by James Fitzmaurice. She also starred in The Rose Tattoo in a minor role. She breaks out in this, and fantastic work. I'll tell you about that next week.
Okay, and a reminder of Tour Detour at the Ashe Powerhouse Center is also on the boards. There's so much theater.
Too much.
There's so much theater. It's a good kind of problem. Now time for our picks of the week. Fred.
I'm going to be singing and signing over at the Saturday. Is this it? Yeah. Saturday, November 26th at the Barnes & Noble on the West Bank from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Come on out and say hello, and you can also look up the book at riverroadpress.com.
All righty. Thank you, Poppy.
This Tuesday, and then also Tuesday, December 13th, the Windsor Court is offering uncorked holiday offerings, delicious, yummy things to eat and drink. And don't forget this Thursday, the French-American Chamber of Commerce annual Beaujolais Nouveau Fest, and it's at the Downtown Marriott at the Convention Center this year.
Thank you, Alan.
Well, my cousin Sidney Smith, who's a great photographer, is going to be having his rare rock and roll photography that's going to be unveiled tomorrow night, and it's going to be at the Shinola Art Gallery and Martin Luther King Boulevard, it says. But I got to tell you, he's going to be there signing and explaining. There's a picture of some greats there
that
we
we
had.
Warehouse. Great photos from the old warehouse.
Fantastic stuff that he's got, and
Yeah.
again, you may see a couple of people that are big heroes of yours as well.
Okay, Billy.
People can email me at the Lagniappe Band New Orleans. At gmail.com.
Okay,
the
great.
Lagniappe Band New Orleans at gmail.com, and send me their phone number and name and email address, and I'll put them on the mailing list.
And we all should also point out that we salute our veterans, being Veterans Day
absolutely,
here.
yeah.
God bless you. And my picks, the Mid-City Art Studios celebrate their 20th anniversary with an open house and sale that's tomorrow from 10 to 4 on Toulouse Street in Mid-City. The New Orleans Opera's final performance of Verdi's Macbeth is this Sunday afternoon with a 2:30 matinee at the Mahalia Jackson Theater. And speaking of opera, the Women's Guild of the New Orleans Opera Association recently dedicated a newly created beautiful statue of Belle D, Madame Butterfly's famous aria, by sculptor Thomas Bruno. It's to honor the 50th anniversary of their beautiful home on Britannia Street, which is open and available for special events. And we really appreciate all that they do for the opera. They work very hard all year, that group. They're wonderful. And we wanted to show you Sandra Burchell's homage to Sorolla, pastel and paper. Her new exhibit opens on Saturday and is on view through November 29th at the Carol Robinson Gallery. Thank you all so much for being here, and thanks for watching. Good night.
Global Star Satellite Communications.